Now, aside from the inhuman treatment that women accused of witchcraft face, many struggle financially. Some women at the Patinga witch camp in northern Ghana claim they are forced to pay for their stay. They claim that the traditional priest also charges them 5 cedis every Friday as an appreciation fee for caring for them. When Jojo Kobna inquired about the charging inmate, the traditional priest denied taking money from them.
Yeah, my team. Ebe ya de mari. Kala ngo kate to. Ebe ya ni si. Ya le ding ning. Yeah, ma. Ya ma.
Many women who are accused of witchcraft and sent to witch camps are subjected to heartbreaking and inhumane treatment. A broom is wrapped around their necks like a noose and tightened to suffocate and force them to confess to witchcraft. In some camps, the death of a chicken determines the fate and entire cause of women accused of witchcraft. The grounds for accusing these elderly women are very flimsy.
My nephew died in an accident. I was in Accra then. They called me to come home, and when I got here, they accused me of being a witch. How did I cause this accident? Did I push the car? Why would they say I am a witch? Someone said he saw me stomping on him in his dream, so he accused me of witchcraft. They brought me here. The Tindana said I was not guilty, but the people said they don't want me, so I stayed.
Even though an ordeal trial cleared these women of witchcraft, they were still exiled to the camp. However, the stories from the Patiga camp in the northern region are rather depressing. This is because, in addition to paying for their ordeal trial, accused witches must also pay for lodging. They allege they paid the traditional priest 200 cedis for housing. Some of the women spoke to Joy News on condition of anonymity.
I did not have money, so my relatives paid for my accommodation. If you don't have money, you borrow from friends. We help people on the farm, so they give us money. Also, when visitors come, they give us some money and we save and pay 5 cedis every Friday. When I came to this place, I was asked to pay 200 cedis. Apart from the 200 cedis, I pay 5 cedis every Friday to the Tindana to appreciate him because he takes care of us.
Aside from that, they must pay the chief priest 5 cedis every Friday in appreciation for his care. So with a current inmate population of 18 in the Patiga camp, the chief priest receives 90 cedis every Friday. The women did not want to go on record for the fear of being victimized. Many of the women who spoke to Joy News confirmed they were forced to pay for their housing as well as 5 cedis every Friday. Adam Musa, the traditional priest at the Patiga camp, tells Joy News that the women pay for the witchcraft trials, but he wouldn't say how much.
I get something small from them because I also want to pray God. And if they say that I should buy Massa, where can I get money? You know Massa?
No.
I know it. So it is in our culture, not yours. So I will get something small from them, but no law money, because I'm not the one who will say that you bring millions, thousands. No, it is not like that.
He denies taking any other money from the women.
If you brought your mother here, your in-law, your grandmother, and you said that keep her for me, the time that I want her, I will come, because at home I'm not sleeping. Some people wanted to kill her for me, so keep her for me. That's the reason why I'm getting them here. I'm not collecting some money from them, and then they were here with me.
Also, inmates here say they have not received livelihood empowerment against poverty allowance for years.
I don't remember the last time we were giving LEAP money. If memory serves, it's been about 6 or 7 years. They took us to Gushegu, but the LEAP money never came.
Where I got that juju from, and they said I have juju. I wanted to keep. I don't know whether I had it from the market, wherever. I don't know.
So, how do you feel about the fact that you are not a witch, but they say that you're a witch?
No, wula karbi abinda yana yin soyayya ka soyayya ma wula karbi.
The LEAP allowance is a social intervention program for most impoverished people. Unfortunately, these women do not receive the meager stipends that would make their lives comfortable. Member of Parliament for Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu, and Y East MP, Dr. Godfred Seidu Gisau, are championing the anti-witchcraft bill in Parliament. They visited the camp to gather first-hand information. They were not happy with how these women are being treated.
Apart from the human rights abuses, there is also a livelihood abuse. We have the government program of LEAP for a very long time. In fact, these women cannot remember the last time they got any support from LEAP. So I thought that these are kind of camps that people, human beings, vulnerables, are concentrated here. So I will expect the gender ministry in particular to have a special attention and special package for providing basic livelihood needs for these people. I think that, and I call on the government, the gender minister herself, to, of immediate effect, cause that the LEAP for these particular camps are paid.
With the gender minister being absent from duty, who will lead the way to ensure these vulnerable women are protected? Jojo Kobna, Joy News.
Now joining us live on Zoom is Member of Parliament for Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu. He and two other MPs are campaigning for an anti-witchcraft bill. Thanks for joining us, sir. Was it shocking to realize these vulnerable women were asked to pay for accommodation?
It was absolutely shocking. In fact, the entire experience was very traumatizing and very, very emotional, to say the least, particularly when you look at what goes on in the cities and you go to some of these camps and you realize how the most vulnerable people are further impoverished and further dehumanized. It's very, very worrying. And I think that it was one of the heartbreaking moments for me when we visited these camps.
Was there anything outstanding in terms of how shocked you were?
Honestly, I think that what was outstanding was even the fact that beyond the plight of these women, and I'm sure that as the story develops, you explore all the other sides. I mean, it's about some of the children that live with those women. And so not only are those women hungry, but the kids that come with them are equally hungry. Some of them are there with their grandchildren. And it's very, very heartbreaking, in fact, to see that these women are there with no support whatsoever. So if no visitor comes to the camp, it becomes extremely difficult for them to get money to even pay that 5 cedis every week, and not to talk about how to even feed. I recall many of the women and the children who I interacted with personally said, we are not even sure how we are going to feed, particularly around these times of the year. So it's just heartbreaking. First of all, the whole incident of they paying for these accommodations and actually paying to compensate, and the fact that a lot of them are exploited on farms, some of them are sexually exploited, and the fact that apart from all of that, as a state, the little protection that we have for these vulnerable people also do not get to them. I think that we still have a lot to do as a people. And I think social protection is completely under siege. It doesn't exist in my view when you look at the plight of these women.
Good you bring in social protection, because we understand LEAP allowances have not been paid to the inmates in the witches camps as MPs championing their cause. What can you do about this to ensure the poor women receive the support needed?
Well, one of the things that myself and Dr. Giselle are doing, we have put together a joint statement on the plight of those women. We are hoping that the Speaker of Parliament will admit the statement early next week, so we can draw the attention of all members of Parliament to the issue. We have since also filed urgent questions to bring the Minister in charge of Gender, Children and Social Protection to respond to the reasons, or to give reasons to the nation why such most vulnerable people are denied leave for several months. I don't know what kind of challenges that may face, particularly knowing that the substantive Minister of State is not opposed. But I would guess that the deputy ministers may come to respond to those questions.
How do you think her absence is affecting gender protection in the country?
Honestly speaking, I think there is no justifiable reason for us to continue to entertain a minister who has consistently been absent for close to a year, and yet the president has not been bold enough to come out to get a substantive minister. There is a reason why we have a substantive minister and deputy ministers. The role of a substantive minister is not that of deputy ministers. Okay. So once a substantive minister is not there, major policy interventions that are supposed to be led by the minister would suffer. And so I think that definitely the absence of the gender minister has contributed, greatly towards the further deterioration of the plight of these women. And I can only hope that in the ensuing days, the president, looking at some of these visuals coming from the witch camps across the country, where marginalized women, old women are further destroyed, would take some urgent steps to replace that minister.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us here. That's the Madina Xavier Sosu.